Hi, this is Miss Bagley. I'm going to show you how to fold a piece of paper into 8 equal sections, so into eighths. So the first thing I want to do is take a paper and fold it in half. And when I properly fold, I want to line up the edges. I'm going to hold this very firm, slide my finger across, and press the seam. Now the problem with the seam is it will not hold unless you crease it with a tool. So you want to be on a hard surface and crease the paper. So my fold is on the right hand side. Now I'm going to fold it again, and the first thing I'm going to do is line up the bottom edge, and I want to get that lined up as exact as possible. I'm going to hold it very tight down here, push this up. Okay, it's not a tight seam yet, so I'm just going to press against it. You can use anything, a pencil or whatever, your fingernails. All right, now this is a folded side, and these two are folds, and this is the opening at the bottom. So we need to know where the folds are. So you can keep track of it. I'm going to mark it on here. So those are my two folded sides. All right, folds are here, fold here, open stuff down here. So I'm going to take this fold, this flap, and make it touch the other fold. So I want to pull it really tight at the corner up here, make sure that's accurate. Make sure this line is accurate, hold it tightly, press it gently with my finger, pushing that way, and then also go with a tool to make it really tight and crisp. Okay, so I did that flap. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the other flap. So again, the main thing I want to pay attention to is the point. Try to get that point lined up, get the edge lined up, press it down and crease it. Now for our project, we want to get rid of this little extra flap here, so we just want the triangle part. So I'm going to go ahead and snip this off. And then open it up. Now my folds are super crisp right here, so they don't want to lay flat. So I need to push from behind just to weaken that fold a little bit. This one I'm going to push from the top and from underneath. Okay, now it lays flat. If you're doing the sun project, we have the little template here. I want to pay attention to my 4 corners. Actually, I'm only going to pay attention to these 3 corners because this isn't 100% perfect. But I need to line up my fold so that it lines up exactly on the center line. Now if you look over here, this part's not accurate. So I have to slide this up, and then I'm going to line up my corners, line up these 2 corners, line that one up. And my paper's off slightly, but it's close enough to work.
It's 4:50.
So I'm going to go ahead and tape that down. At this point, I'm going to put my name on here so that I don't lose this paper. And if you're doing the sun, the only things that we're tracing from here is the circle. Bad tracing right there. So I'm doing half the circle, and then I'm going to make my face. Now this time I'm going to copy the eyebrow there. I like the nose, so I'm going to copy the nose. And the mouth I'm going to change a little bit. So again, I'm only drawing to the halfway point. Give a cute little chin there. I'm altering my cheek, and I think I'll alter the eye too. Okay, so I put a pupil on there, and I'm going to add a lower eyelid to my design, and maybe I'll add a little circle here and an extra little circle here. Okay, so I used this template for help, but I didn't copy it exactly. The next thing I'm going to do is draw my rays for my face on there for the sun, but I'm only going to draw in this section right here. So I'm going to color that in so you see where I'm going to draw. I'm only doing the design in this little section up here, okay, and the face. Because we're going to fold the tracing paper repeatedly and just trace these images. So let's say I make my sun rays like this, and let's say I met a second line on there, and maybe I want another line here. Alright, so I have my entire sun design that's required. So I have half a face and just one of the pie shapes here, 1/8. So I'm going to peel this off, and I'm going to go to the next step. The next step is going to be to trace the face onto this side and work on the design there. So I'm going to pull this tape off of here. Alright, my hand likes to make circles in this direction, so I turn this upside down for just a minute so I can get the curve. Okay, and then I'm going to just trace all of my lines here. Doesn't matter if I'm holding it upside down, I'm just tracing. My eye in there. Alright, so I'm done tracing the face, so you can take a look at it. There's the whole face of the sun. Now I'm going to trace the rays. So I'll trace this one. Okay, so now I have my design there. I am going to trace it again. And the tracing paper is so thin I don't care which side of the paper I'm writing on because I can still see the image. Okay, now I have half of it completed for the border. Not really the border, the negatives, no, the rays. Negative space will be outside that. And now I'm just going to finish tracing all the way around. Missed a line back here, so I'm going to put that in. And I'm on the last section. Now you don't have to be great at drawing to do this, because as long as you have repetition and designs repeat, it will give your project unity. So it's a great way to create a little bit of a design, and it doesn't take very much skill. So there's my whole design that I'll be tracing onto my little square. See if I have the right square here. It's going to be going onto a piece of aluminum this size. Okay? All right, make sure to save this in your sketchbook so you don't have to start from scratch if you lose it.